When Moses fasted, he received from the Lord. He had fasted 40 days and 40 nights. When we fast, we trying to receive something from God. But if you don't have the right information, the right mind frame, your fasting is no good.
That's right.
Listen to the 58th chapter of the book of Isaiah, verse 1. You heard this numerous times. Listen to the book.
Cry aloud.
Spell.
Not.
Lift up.
Thy voice like a trumpet.
Come on.
And shew my people their transgression.
And?
The house of Jacob their sins.
So listen what he's talking about.
Yet they seek me daily.
Yet they seek me daily.
And delight to know my ways.
And they want to know what I want them to do. Come on.
As a nation that did righteousness.
As a nation that did righteousness.
And forsook not the ordinance of their
and
God.
Like they had never went wrong or contrary to the word. See, a lot of things I'm telling you we need to do, some of y'all going to go and fall down and go on a fast like you hadn't done no wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't go on a fast like you've been a nation that been doing the right the whole time, and that won't be the truth, will it?
No, sir.
So what did he tell the man of God to do? I need you to cry loud. Lift up your voice like a trumpet. Show them their transgression. So let us realize this. You could be seeking God, and that could be transgression in the way you're seeking it. Mm. You've heard Isaiah 58:1 numerous times, didn't he?
Yes,
but here he's saying, show them their transgression. House of Jacob, their sin. Therefore, he said they try to seek me as a nation that did right. That's sin. They try to delight themselves to know my way as a nation that had never done wrong. That's sin. He told me I need to let you know that.
That's right.
Listen to the book.
And forsook not the ordinance of their God.
Like they never did nothing wrong. Listen.
They asked of me the ordinances of justice.
Come on.
They take delight in approaching to God.
Uh-huh.
Wherefore have we fasted.
Oh, wherefore have we fasted. Now, how we get here? We start out with cry loud, spare not, lift up your voice like a trumpet, show my people that transgression. See, you be transgressing when you fast. Nobody thought about that, did it? You be transgressing while you fasting. Cause all you looking at ain't eating or drinking. That's some more errors you can have going on, though. Listen to the book.
Wherefore have we fasted.
Wherefore have we fasted?
Say they.
Say they.
And thou seest not.
And what? And then you'll want to look and put the fault on God. Well, I did what I was supposed to do. Why God didn't move and do what he was supposed to do?
Yes,
don't forget, you transgressed. Don't hold what you got real quick. Pick me up to 2 Samuel chapter 12. 12 and about 12. You know what? A lot of people use fasting for different reasons. The purpose you'll find when the church fasted was because of their transgressions. They were going because of sorrow. They were fast because they realized they had transgressed. They were fast when they were seeking God for something. He said, now when you fast and you do anything, you act like you hadn't done no wrong. Let's look at a situation here. This is 2 Samuel chapter 12 and verse 12. Listen to the book.
For thou didst in secretly, but I will do this thing before all
Talk
Israel.
about David with a certain woman named Bathsheba who was married to a Hittite, Uriah. And he had gotten her pregnant. So when the prophet had came through Nathan and began to tell him about his transgression, told him about a certain man that come through a country and how there was a man that had many lambs, but he wouldn't take one of his own. He took one from a poor man who ate with it, who loved it, and laid in his bosom. Said that was the only little ewe lamb he had. Now, what our father David did, those that are Jews and the spiritual Jews, when he heard this, he stood up and told him that man should die.
That's right.
And do you know what Nathan told him?
You.
Thou art the man.
Amen.
Now he let him know about it. What you did when you put Uriah back out there out in the army, when he wasn't going and lay, he was hoping this man would come and lay with his wife that night. And so maybe he would just miscount. Maybe I just miscounted. I slept with her. That's got to be my baby. But you know when he looked out there, he saw Uriah. Uriah saw the men out fighting. He said, I couldn't go in there and lay with my wife. He slept outdoors to keep himself from her. David got hot. Because you know when he looked at, his not going in finna make a mess out of what I did.
That's right.
So he's sitting back out and sitting to the captain of the army with a letter signed and sealed it with the king's ring. And when the captain of the host got it, he told him, said, when the battle get hot, so I want you to draw back. Let Uriah get killed. Soon as the battle got hot, they pulled back and Uriah died. And David thought, I'm off the hook. So after that, he began to tell him about these things and how he had done these things secretly. He said, but God should do what?
But thou didst secretly.
See, you did what you did secretly.
But I will do this thing before all Israel
But what God said, what I'm going to do to you, I'm going to do it before all Israel. Listen.
and before the sun.
And before the sun.
And David said unto Nathan,
Listen.
I have sinned against the Lord.
I have sinned against the Lord.
And Nathan said unto David,
Uh-huh.
the Lord also have put away thy sin.
Yes.
Thou shalt not die.
Thou shalt not die. See, I ain't gonna, Lord said, I ain't going to kill you for that one. But listen.
Howbeit,
Howbeit.
because by this deed
Yeah.
thou hast given great occasion to the enemies of the Lord to blaspheme.
Y'all know why? That's why God had to chastise the church so much. That's why God had to come in and discipline the church the way he do and let the church suffer certain things. Because he can't let us get away with no behavior. He couldn't
That's
let me
right.
get away with that. You know why? Y'all know how many people watching, waiting to catch me up in something? All it take me one sister, one child, one bill, one joint, one crack rock seal. And you know what happened? Them folks will blaspheme the name. He ain't worried about this name. He worried about his name.
That's right.
See, he realized something with David. See, that foolishness you just pulled, now you get all them people to go now, and they'll go and talk against
That's
God. What they
right.
gonna say?
That's
They
right.
ain't no better than us. Them hypocrites over there,
That's right.
they sleeping around with other people's wives too.
That's right.
What's the difference with them talking about they holy? God said, no, 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 no. You just gave a cave and them for the blaspheme against my name. Listen to the book.
The child also that is born unto thee shall surely die.
I don't know why these folks think the transgression of the parent don't fall down on the children.
Amen.
He told Moses that when he appeared to him and proclaimed the name of the Lord. How he talking about how he was mercy, how he showed mercy to many, and he said, I visit the iniquity of the father upon the third and the fourth generation.
That's right.
Isn't that right? He said, this thing you did called blasphemy, I done kept away I'm not gonna kill you for it, but that child got to die. Listen to the book.
And Nathan departed unto his house.
Yeah,
And the Lord struck the child that Uriah's wife bare unto David.
yeah.
And it was very sick.
And they were very sick.
David therefore besought God for the child.
And did what?
And David fasted
David fasted. Listen to the book.
and went in
And went in.
and lay all night upon the earth.
See, he didn't do it for 21 days that folk did. But when he saw the child was sick, he fell right in the mold of what? I need to fast for my transgression. I need to fall down. I need to call. You know what we do? In the morning, I'm going to wait till the sun come back up and lay back down again. That evening, David fasted all that evening. Soon as he saw the transgression, what had happened, and saw the child laying sick because of his transgression, I need to call on God now. See, we need to learn how to, the Bible teaches how we got to be instant. And I've been telling the way of God church, you got to learn how to transition. Some of y'all can't transition. It take you too long. I had to give you too much time for you to do something. When I tell you to stop doing something, you got too much time to wait, running your mouth on why I done told you now you ain't got to do it. When David realized what happened, that man went that night. He said, well, I'm going to wait early, get a fresh start in the morning and fast then. When that thing happened, that child was sick, David fasted all that night.
Amen.
Listen to the book.
And the elders of his house arose
Yeah.
and went to him
Uh-huh.
to raise him up from the earth.
Yeah.
But he would not.
Man, listen. See, when they fasted, when they realized they were wrong in what they had fasted for, they refused to be comforted because they were trying to seek something from God. A lot of us sitting around and fasting, and you still in comfort. You still sitting where everything is comfortable to you and accessible to you, and you still doing the same conversation. You still got the same walk and the same behavior you fast. There's no difference.
That's right.
Yet when David fasted, they tried to raise him up, trying to come what David said. No, I'm fasting now. I can't get up now. Now I'm down. I'm calling. I'm seeking God for something now. Listen to the book.
Neither did he eat bread with them.
Come on.
And it came to pass on the seventh day that the child died.
That the child died.
And the servants of David feared to tell him that the child was dead.
Yeah.
For they said, Behold, while the child was yet alive,
Yeah.
we spake unto him, and he would not hearken unto
He
our
wouldn't
voice.
listen to nothing we said when the child was living.
How will he then vex himself if we tell him?
He gonna really get sick now. And we walk in here and tell this man his child dead. Listen.
But when David saw that his servants whispered,
Yeah.
David perceived that the child was dead.
Yeah.
Therefore, David said unto his servants,
What did he say?
Is the child dead?
Is the child dead?
And they said, He is dead.
He is dead.
Then David arose from the earth
Uh-huh.
and washed and anointed himself
And washed and anointed himself.
and changed his apparel
And changed his apparel.
and came into the house of the Lord
And came into the house of the
and
Lord.
worshiped.
And worshiped.
Then he came to his own house.
Yeah.
And when he required, they set bread before him.
Yeah.
And he did eat.
Uh-huh.
And then said his servants unto him,
Uh-huh.
What thing is this that thou hast done?
I'm confused.
Thou,
Because you was a mess when the child was living. I just know when the child dead, you finna cut the fool and fall all out and get in a casket and folk out to drag you, man, and thought you gonna fight the pallbearers and everything. Just kind of, no, they ain't have that extreme how we look at things. Listen,
Thou didst fast and weep for the child.
Yes, you did.
While it was alive.
While I was alive.
But when the child was dead,
Yeah.
thou didst rise and eat bread.
Yeah.
And he said,
What did he say?
while the child was yet alive,
What happened?
I fasted and wept.
I fasted and I wept.
For I said, who can tell whether God will be gracious to me?
You see what he know? He looked down. I was fasting because of some sin and transgression I had. I know God gesting what he going to do, but I'm going to fast. If God will, as Moses said, perhaps God might forgive y'all for y'all iniquity. Perhaps I'll make atonement. That's what they were hoping for in their fast. David knew I'm fasting, I'm calling on God. I didn't want to be comforted. I didn't need to do nothing else but stay focused on what I need to be calling on God for. A lot of we get too distracted. You're still laughing, playing, doing the same old thing, watching the same junk on TV, and you want to know why you don't get no results. This is what he said.
For I said, who can tell whether God will be gracious to me,
Come on.
that the child may live?
Come on.
But now he is dead.
Uh-huh.
Wherefore should I fast?
Come on.
Can I bring him back again?
Uh-huh.
I shall go to him, but he shall not return to me.
Look what David recognized. Just because you praying after something don't mean God gonna give it to you.
That's right.
But you know what? You go with the intent in mind that David had, who know if God will be gracious. Because he would have had known the law, and when he appeared to Moses, he told him he was gracious. He didn't know I'm gracious. Isn't that right? I'm gracious. I have mercy on whom I will.
That's
so
right.
David said, knowing that and knowing the law, when I seek him, I got to put everything else aside. You got to put relationship aside. Isn't that right? Can't be lay holding no husband, no wife. You got to put that stuff aside when you seeking and you fasting.
Yes,
you know
sir.
when David went back into Bathsheba? After.
That's right.
You read, you'll see he went in after, and he covered Bathsheba, and she born to him son, and she born to him Solomon.
Solomon.
While he was fasting, wasn't no laying over his wife.
That's right.
Wasn't no hugged up kissing. We ain't doing all that, just foreplay. Ain't no time for no playing now.
That's right.
It's time to be serious. See, this is why when we going on the fast, a lot of people ain't got the right mindset. Ain't no time to be funny, joking, playing. It's time for you to be seeking God because you calling on God for something. These folks were able to admit their transgression. They had reason why they were fasting. They would call on God. Give me that 1 Samuel chapter 1. 2 Samuel chapter 1. Since y'all read the other one, you jump on and give me the book of Jonah.
Yes, sir.
Jonah 3 and 1. He gonna give me 2 Samuel chapter 1 about verse 8. Listen to the book.
And he said unto me,
And he said unto me,
who art thou?
Who art thou?
And I answered him,
And I answered him,
I am an Amalekite.
I'm an Amalekite.
He said unto me again,
He said unto me again,
stand,
Stand,
I pray thee,
I pray thee,
upon me,
upon me,
and slay me.
and slay me.
For anguish is come upon me,
For anguish is come upon me.
because my life is yet whole in me.
You know who this was? This was Saul. First king Israel had ever got.
That's right.
He was out of the tribe of Benjamin. He was the son of Cis. And what happened after his pursuing of David, God had took back his spirit from this man because this man, when God had sent him with a commandment, told him to utter the slave, these folks and everything other had both man and beast, young and suckling. He spared some. By that, he lost the kingship. And God took his life from him. And the Lord allowed him to sit there and let his enemy come up and take his life. He thought he was at the point of death, but he told the man, said, who are you? The man said, I'm a Amalekite. I ain't no Israelite. But the man told, so Saul was in so much anger, you know he told the man, said, man, stand over me and kill me. So I'm in pain. I'm suffering now. That's what God will put you in when you don't obey his word. God let his enemy come up and slay him. He was, being an Israelite, you'd have rather been taken out by your own people, never by the enemy, the people you fight.
That's right.
But he had to beg his enemy to put him out of his misery. Listen to the book.
So I stood upon him
So I stood upon him
and slew him,
and slew him.
because I was sure that he could not live after that he was fallen.
Listen what he said. He said, man, after he had fallen on that sword, I knew, looking at him, I said, look, he ain't got no chance. He gonna die. Let me go and put him out of his misery. He telling David about this. Let's see how David reacted to some information like that. Come on.
And I took the crown that was upon his head,
And I took the crown that was upon his head,
and the bracelet that was on his arm,
and the bracelet that was upon his arm.
and have brought them hither unto my Lord.
He said, I brought them unto you, Lord David. Listen.
Then David took hold on his clothes
Then David took hold on his clothes.
and rent them.
David ripped his clothes. He tore his clothes when he heard this news. Listen to the book.
And likewise all the men that were with him.
And likewise, the people, the men that were with him, did the same thing. Listen.
And they mourned
And they mourned
and wept
and wept.
and fasted until evening.
Listen why.
For Saul and for Jonathan his son and for the people of the Lord
Listen what he fasted for.
and for the
He-
house of Israel.
You see what he did? He was fasting. Because Israel had lost the king.
Amen.
Jonathan was a man he loved. And he wept and he fasted for Israel. Now you understand Paul said, my heart desiring prayer to God for Israel, that they might be saved.
Yeah.
See, he realized something. Israel in trouble when he ain't got no leader.
That's right.